Long Island.
What a lot of people don't know is that you were on stage the night that Live from the Barbecue was recorded. Can you take me back to that moment and being part of what considered one of the best Posse tracks of all time?
So I'm working with Large at this time. Large is like, you got this dude Nas, right? Um, Chilling out with Fatal all the time. Fatal had this fucking big ass old Wagoneer, and we used to jump in there and we used to go places and shit like that. That day, Large or somebody, one of those guys told me, yeah, we're going to do Live at the Barbecue at this shit, and Ralph McDaniel's video music box is gonna be there and all that. I was like, all right, cool. I was chilling. So I remember, I could tell you my exact outfit, my nigga. I had a leather jacket, brown leather jacket with fringes falling off of that, some Jabot jeans, and a pair of suede Clarks, brown suede Clarks that matched the jacket. I took a limo to the show with two bitches and went to that show. So when I got there and I jumped on stage with them, I was so, I'm so fucking hood. I was just like, these motherfuckers jumping around too much. They gonna step on my clocks. So you'll see me for a minute right there. But once they start jumping around and going crazy, I backed out because I didn't want nobody to step on my shit. But yeah, I was there for that day. Like, it was, we didn't know that was gonna be the shit. We just all cool. There's a lot of Queens affiliation there. Akinelli, Joe Fatal, Large Professor, myself. We all ran in the same circles.
Right. You talked about the Def Jam deal that didn't work out in Columbia, Rough House. Throughout the years, you created singles. You say 95 was when you started first making money.
Right.
Up till 2016, the Anomaly, what were you doing in between that time until you decided, and what inspired you to finally create a whole project, and put it out?
Well, so 95, I did a single for Hydra, which was Rocky Not Quick with Eric Sherman on one side, and Dawn to Dusk, produced by Beat Nuts and my man Victor Padilla on the other side. Did fucking great. Like, that shit was on Battle of the Beats on Hot 97. I won 4 nights in a row until they put me up against put me up against Ice Cream with Wu-Tang. And of course, I fucking lost. But 4 nights, I won every fucking single night. Then, Stretch is my boy. I always was very cool with a lot of the DJs because I had a vast knowledge of music, so they appreciated it. So we talked a lot about music. So Stretch was my boy. We used to hang out. He loved rock music. We both loved Van Halen and shit like that. So Stretch got his label deal, did his label called Dolo, and that shit was on Broadway in Houston. And then I did Well Connected, Bright Lights, Big City. Bright Lights, Big City was produced by Beatnuts VIC again. And Well Connected, we used the Clear sample, Intimate Connection for that. That shit did great. And then, I became a dude that people were trying to wash their money, like drug dealing motherfuckers. They'd be like, do this record for me and shit. Because they knew I was guaranteed to sell a certain amount. So then I did Black Wax. So at this time with Black Wax, me and Stretch was trooping around the globe. Like, we go to France, we go to London, we go to Germany. Like, me and Stretch is like this, and we just hanging out everywhere. And then we hear about this kid, Mark Ronson. And one day he goes to do a show. He goes to play in upstate New York somewhere, some college. And then we see Mark. And Mark, I was like, yo, Stretch, that nigga look just like you. Ain't y'all both go to collegiate and shit? And then he was like, yeah, but like, yo, the fucking joke was he's a fake Stretch, and we called him Stretch Mark. So Stretch Mark. But me and Mark became cool as fuck. And that was my boy. And Mark Ronson's first records that he ever produced were 3 Power Rule records on Black Wax. Heating Up, What's the one?
Rhymes to bust.
With Rhymes the Buzz, Heating Up,
It's
and
your right.
It's Your Right. Yes. Yeah. So those are Mark's first three records. And they were with me. So go figure, nigga.
Is you? Can you hear me?
We good? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Take me back
All
to
right.
what inspired you to create the anomaly.
So what happened was, so I actually became disgusted with the whole record business in total. Because once I started working behind the scenes, I seen the shystiness and the lack of caring for the artist. So I have no real education or anything like that, and I had to get a job. So I got a job. Luckily, someone hooked me up, and I got a job as a doorman. So I was a doorman from like 2003 all the way up into that point. And what happened was that my man DJ DeVito, what up, bro? Down in Philadelphia, he was like, "Yo, I'm a POWERULE fan. I got this beat. Can you jump on it?" So this is 2016. Everybody goes so crazy about the Black Lives Matter movement last year, but that movement existed in 2016. I remember taking the train and coming out of work and seeing Black Lives Matter graffiti in places. So, me being the man that I finally became, he gave me a beat and I wrote the beat the way I felt as a man during that time. And that became a record called Grace, which is incredible. And it's on the Anomaly album. But DJ DeVito gave me that record. And you can see the video too. So it's totally politically charged. So I finally had my, in the beginning, I just wanted to be Rakim, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But finally, growing up, and I had my own identity, and my identity was that. That record, Grace, was what I wanted to do. So, I'm still working. Axe calls me up. He says, "Yo, come by the studio." I come to the studio. I look around. I'm in my suit. There's a picture. You find it. You'll see me in a black suit and a tie, or with a white shirt or whatever. I came there, and I was like, I saw Psycho Les. I saw Lord Finesse. I saw Large Professor. Man, we know those names.
Right.
They was all there. I was just like, oh, that's cool. X can had me come by here, and watch these niggas do an interview or something. When I came there, them niggas said that, yo, we heard that record, yo, we want to do an album. I was like, what? Yo, dude, that's all I wanted in life, man, to be respected by guys like that. They asked me to do an album. They're gonna work on my album. So, boom. Then I just got back into the game. The songs were good. Very good, I would say. It's a very good album. Um, but I wasn't totally warmed up yet. But it did great. Um, so then we did the Anomaly Reloaded, and I reworked a couple of the verses and everything. I put a joint on there with Thurston Howard III, my man, what up, Thirst? And then that was really speaking to who I was. The Anomaly Reloaded is good. So it's basically, I took like a 15-year layoff and then started rapping again. And then fast forward to now I really feel like I found my voice and know who I am. Now I don't rap no more. I just speak on tracks. I don't even call it rapping anymore. It's just like I'm giving you a written testimony that I feel passionate about, and I'm gonna speak it to you in this way. Like before it was just like, yo, you have to have a rhyme flow and shit like this, and then nah. Now it's just like I talk the way I talk, and that's how I make music now. And if you want to skip past Parallel and go to what's going on right now, so gentrification hit my neighborhood hard in Williamsburg. I'm living on Jackson Street in Lorimer, and there were a lot of old school Italian and Puerto Ricans in this neighborhood, and they all got pushed out because of gentrification. And these kids coming, three of them, they all could pay $1,000 each and take over these apartments. So I don't blame the landlords. That's what they want to do. But you're talking about families that were displaced incredibly, like a family that would grow up on that block and saw that kid do hopscotch there, saw that kid play, football there and everything. That were told that didn't have enough money to own a home, but they can afford the rent. That were kicked out and displaced. So one day I'm helping my neighbor move across the street. And he said, you know what these hipsters call us right now? And I was like, nah, what? He said, they call us the leftovers. So as
Mm.
soon as I heard that shit, I was just like, I took it as a derogatory statement. Like, how fucking dare you? But then, as motherfuckers like us do, I embraced it and turned it into something else. So that's how the leftovers was created 2 years ago, because of the oppression of gentrification in my neighborhood. And I took the leftovers name and now I embrace it. And now that's who we are. Now we have an identity. We are the leftovers. We the motherfuckers that built this city. I'm talking about built the city with our hands, built the city culturally, built this city artistically. Look at fashion, music, everything. Dude, we made punk rock famous in New York City. That's the Ramones is New York City. You know, your DKNY is New York City. You know, these are all New York City things. So these people coming over here and trying to take over and I don't know, do whatever the fuck they doing, or opening up another fucking coffee shop. Yo, we did it, man. We took this artistry to another level that's $1 billion business. So I am a veteran of New York City, and we are the leftovers.
Who does the leftovers consist of? Is it a group or is it just yourself? I know you got producers, Toast Johnson on the album, Team Demo. Who exactly is the leftovers?
That's my man Bobito Ross made this mug for me right here. He
Dope.
came out, that's the public enemy symbol with the Puerto Rican flag in the back. Um, so I never like to stand alone. I really appreciate vibing off of other individuals who are in the same creative space. So Bobito Ross one day hit me up and he was like, he liked my stuff. And he's like, yo, can you come to my party? I'm doing an art exhibition. Went over with that dude, did my thing. We became cool. Soon as once POWERULE came out, that nigga fucking looked for me and found me and put me on the Classic Storm radio show. So you got Sunya's Allah. When I was down with Bones Malone back in the days, in the first POWERULE album, Volume 1, Bones Malone is all over that shit, like interviewing us. So now Sunya's is taking this place. So I was down with Sunya's. I was down with Bobito Ross. I'm down with my man Sharif Got Profit. Sharif is Renee McClain's brother. So all of these people, this wasn't something that I asked them, yo, be down. They was just like, yo, I love this movement. I love the way this shit is. So I had all of them, and I grabbed my man Talim. Everybody knows Talim, SOS Dancer and shit like that. But that motherfucker got a great knowledge of music. And, he came up, like I did. And I was just like, I don't want to be alone. So I saw, there was a few DJs I was looking at that. But then I was just like, yo, fuck it. I know Talim, Alex from Bushwick and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I got with him, and boom, that experience of moving my neighbors across the street and being tagged as a leftover spawned the Leftovers Anthem, which has become a rally cry for people who suffer through gentrification. So, your leftovers are. So Toast Johnson, he just saw the video online, hit me up, and then we got cool. Now me and Toast is like this. Like when I get off the phone, me and Toast got work to do. Like today's
Right.
a day. I'm working with you, and then we're gonna work again. And we getting everything ready for a Bandcamp page. Like I was always just a guy that was used to being on iTunes and shit like that. But I started through him and other independent artists telling me, yo, Bandcamp is the shit and you can actually get money. I was like, get money? I was like, oh shit, all right. So, boom. So I'll tell you right now, your lineup is this. The leftovers is Toast Johnson, Sunya's Allah, Bobito Ross, Sharif Got Profit, and my man Phil Ortiz, who I hired because I was I was a doorman, but then I ended up being a manager. That I managed 5 buildings and put all the staff in there. Phil was one of those kids that was there, and he wanted to rap, and he's been cultivating his art since. And if you hear the new Leftovers album, that motherfucker's on. He got like 2 solo songs and 3 or 4 features on shit. So, and also I cannot forget my man Blanco 72, old school nigga. He from Long Island, Brentwood, and once he heard the new POWERULE shit, it's just like when I finally did come out with that anomaly shit, like people came out of the woodwork, and it was just so humbling to actually be appreciated.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, that's your leftovers. Blanco 72, Toast 187 Johnson. There's a lot. Sharif Got Profit. Uh, Toast and Sonia there. I said everybody. Yeah. So we the leftovers. I may Talim. So I might be the vocal one in this endeavor, but I have a whole team behind me that's excellent, that has excellent credibility. That these dudes, a lot of people fuck with them. Like I seen Bobito Ross's growth and how he's become a real force in this game through his art. And that dude is a leftover. He's a leftover boy. All of us.